Damn it. Hold on. Fudge. Okay, better. So how's it going, ladies and gents? Hold on, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Chris? Hey, Renita, can you guys hear me? Hey, Jerry, what's going on? Okay, awesome. Can you hear me, Renita? Jerry? Okay. All right, perfect. Because you guys know as soon as Jessica get here, she'll be like, dude, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hold on, let me switch my camera. Better? A little bit? Cool. I don't know. Oh, yeah? Where were you guys at, Jerry? Are you guys with Jennifer? Okay, thank you, Miss Anya. Miss Anya's like, yes, Fearless, I can hear you. Christopher's like, I can hear you. Just fine, kind sir. How you guys doing, man? How was today? How was your day today? Okay. Man, here's a fun thing. So today I was just working on this this piece. I think I'm gonna change my camera. I'm gonna do it now. I'll do it later. Yeah, I'll do it later. Anyway, so before we got started, I was actually going to scrap. I was going to scrap everything that I had built. Hey, Jessica. I was going to scrap everything I built and start working on these other principles, man. Um, Dude, it's some good stuff. Here's the thing, like I love principles. I'm gonna tell you why. I love them because it gives you a different perspective of how you're able to reframe certain things, right? So it's like if you punch something, if you punch if you if you punch something like this, you can end up breaking your thumb, right? Mess up your other hands too, right? If you punch something like this, you know, doesn't always help either. If you hit them like that, it can hurt your thumb, right? So there's certain ways that you punch something. So if you do this, that's one thing. But if you turn your hand, that's something totally different. And that's the thing I love about principles is that it teaches you how to turn your hand. It teaches you how to position your fist, right? But more mentally. But when you learn it mentally, you do it physically. If that makes any sense. So that's the reason why I love principles so much. And then when you put principles with strategy, oh my gosh. What? What? I mean, what is it? In my Little John voice, my Dave Chappelle Little John voice. What? What? Right? Just saying. But that's why I love principles so much. Love them. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. Anyway, so how are you guys doing? Talk to me. I'll talk back. How was your day? Let's start off with that. How was your day? Tell me something Awesome. Or give me an excuse. Either tell me something good or give me an excuse. You know me. I'm collecting excuses. Good evening, Jennifer. Excuse me, Genevieve. How are you? We got this thing going now that I'm asking everybody how their day is going, how everything is going, because we're on day 82 now. And we'll clap in a second. But I'm asking everybody, how's their day? And if you don't tell me how your day is, you have to give me an excuse. I need an excuse, preferably one I have not heard yet, because I'm collecting excuses. Collecting excuses. I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet, but gosh darn it, I'm collecting one. She said, I was out of the country. I am sorry. What are you sorry for? That's wonderful. You were out of the country. I mean, were you out of the country because you wanted to be out of the country? Or were you out of the country because somebody didn't want you in the country? I don't know. Genevieve said, my day was amazing. I'm driving. Okay. Where were you, Genevieve? Christopher not only told me that his day was boring, but he also told me what he ate for lunch, which I appreciate that, Christopher. He had a. Thank you. Thank you much. Christopher had a bean burrito for lunch. Not only did he tell me where, oh, wow. Okay. Holiday in Ireland. Nice. Nice. Okay. I love that for you. Did you have well, I mean, did you have a good time? Did you have a good time? I would hope that you did. Because who would want to go to Ireland and be depressed? Okay, that's what's up, Renita. Chasing the babies around and in the front yard with the pool. Okay, I love it. How's it going, Miss Yachty? Hello, dear. Yeah, I mean, you can always ask them to go back there and stay. I mean, I'm sure they loved you there. You're pretty cool, Genevieve. Natanya said her boyfriend got his first passport and they are going to Cancun, Mexico in 6 months for 1 week. She said, I have 3 years, okay, to get out there. All right, I love it. I love it. Congratulations. Oh wow. I totally read that wrong. Sorry about that, Renita. Oh wow. Dude took the baby's pool. Okay. Wow, I read that wrong. I mean, did he get away with it or did you get it back? Like, well, what's going on? I'm still in pools. Obviously, he needed it more than you, apparently. Okay. Okay, well, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, hide your pools. People out here stealing pools and shit. Just saying. Throwing it out there. Of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't. Of course he wasn't, Renita. He was a slowpoke compared to you. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Well, that's what's up. Good job, dear. That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Go get that pool back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, man. We're 11 minutes in. Of course he did. Fucking coward. Who does that to a kid's pool? That's crazy. I don't know. Right. Well, today we're gonna have to ask if it's happened to Anita, sitting down a miscreant who stole the baby's pool. Good job. We're also clapping today because today is day 82 of 100. We have 18 days left. I like to try to take us out with a bang, right? I like to try to take us out with a bang. But we're also clapping for not only each other, but for ourselves because if you do not clap for you, nobody else will either. Okay? So you gotta clap for yourself, man. And clap for yourselves for showing up today, 82 of 100. You guys have been riding with me for this duration, and I appreciate it. Man, in 8 days, man, we would have been together for 3 months. I don't know if you guys realize that. 3 months. 3 months, y'all. Hmm? 3 months together. I know y'all like, man, what you talking about? I'm just saying 3 months together, all of us. Well, most of us, you know what I mean. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you. So today we are today is the third installment of our the hero's journey, which again you guys already know. So we're not gonna really touch too much on this. We've already talked about this two other times, but I did tell you that I was gonna touch on it one more time before we call our experiment quits. And I'm not doing this every single day. I will still be doing it probably a couple times a week, but it'll probably be teaching it and then another part of the week talking about the homework that we gave you for doing different things or whatever like that. Because that school thing that I was talking to you guys about, I'm actually kind of going through with it or whatever. So we are. I am still working on that aspect. So this is kind of where we are with that. But at some point, I didn't want to do it because I knew it was going to take up way too much of my time, and we're always refusing at first that call to say, "Hey, man, it's about that time to get things started." Right? So that's what we're going to be discussing tonight. You guys already know me, so I don't need to touch on one. My name is Fearless Cummings. Welcome to Ags Fearless, where we do talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, and problems. As your coach, as your consigliere, your personal philosopher, whatever you like to call me, my job is to give you tools, tips, and strategies for those dreams, goals, and aspirations that we have. So that's what we do. Okay. All right. Please, because everything I do is about a learning situation, grab yourself a pen, pad, or whatever you need to focus. Drink, snacks, blanket, snuggie, charger, reading glasses, whatever, because you're stepping into a learning zone. You understand what I'm saying? You're stepping into a learning zone. I don't know. I'm starting to I'm kind of liking this little thing now. Hmm. All right. So today we are going to be kind of repeating some of the stuff that we've been talking about. And as I was going through this, I'm like, damn, I've already talked about this so many times, explaining. But unfortunately, like we talk about, repetition takes how many times, Jerry? I'll let my bro Jerry tell you guys what it is for those of you who are new. But repetition is key, which means you're going to keep hearing it because I need to keep teaching it. And then for you to remember it, you got to keep going through it, keep experiencing it, and all that good stuff. Okay? So let's keep going. Here's the other thing, I'm only here to help. Okay? So if you don't want my help, fuck you. Go somewhere else. Okay? Just saying. Yeah, we do come with a warning, but it's not just me. All of us are like this. If you are here for accountability, you're here with the right team. If you want to make excuses, first and foremost, you have to give me some excuses. I need some excuses. Okay, I'm kind of like a dope fiend. Daddy needs his excuses. I need you to give me some excuses because I'm collecting them like stamps. I figure if you collect them, I should be able to collect them. Okay? All right, but here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. In every person's life, there's going to, hey, Benito. I'm getting booed. I'm getting booed. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Saying that I can be full of excuses. Did you call me? Oh, oh, please. Oh, please. I'm reading Mr. Cabral's stuff. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened. I don't necessarily know what I said on that or whatever, Benito. If I did say something kind of out of pocket, yeah, no. Yeah, you have my deepest apologies on that. Like that part. I don't necessarily remember saying anything though. And if I did, it was being facetious. Because you're like one of the hardest people that I know that work. So yeah, I know that yeah, I know when I was talking to Yadi about it, she said that you're actually one of the main people that keeps her accountable. So like, yeah, now my guy, I think that was more of a. If I did say something, that was more of a joke, bro. Like, yeah, no, and I have no problem being called out on shit, whether live or in person or whatever. If I messed up, let me know so I can fix that. If I did say something that was kind of like that, my fault, bro. That was not my intention at all. Like, yeah, anytime I've ever asked you to help or whatever, like you've always been there. Yeah, nah. So now, my guy, I think that's probably more of a misunderstanding, homeboy. Like I assure you of that. Like, yeah, nah, you cool. But yeah, whatever it is, bro, my fault, man. My deepest my sincerest apologies, sir. You've been absolutely amazing since I met you. Amazing. You and Yachty both. So like, nah, 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 nah. Nope. So my fault on that, my guy. I tell people here all the time, like, hey, if I say something or did something or whatever, let me know so I can address it. So like, no, it's oh no, 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 no. And and again, I think that I was just like being if I did say something, which I don't recall that. Maybe I have to go back and watch that or something. I'm pretty sure, bro, I was just talking shit. Cause like, yeah, you're not like again, you're one of the most accountable people that I know, especially when it comes to Miss Yachty. So like, yeah, nah, my guy. But either way, my fault on that. I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, I'll kind of try to choose my words a little bit more carefully, or just say, "Hey, I'm just joking." You know what I'm saying? My fault on that, my guy. Sorry. Hugs, buddy. But thank you so much for telling me, though, Benito. Like seriously, bro. Thank you. I do appreciate that. So people like the like my little thing here says, I'm only here to help, but sometimes my help don't always help. So if I mess up, tell me so I can fix it. Chris said that's how we learn. Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is. So I'm sorry, Benito. Like my fault, brother. Let me know exactly what it was, though, so I can fix that, though, please. But my fault, bro. My fault. But either way, ladies and gentlemen, I was gonna ask for my hell yeah, but again, I took my ass whipping. Compliments on my buddy Benito, but I still need a hell yeah so we can get started. I still need my hell yeah so we can get started, though. I still need. Oh yeah, no, my guy, no, that I was just being facetious. No, sir, no, Benito. My guy. I've never talked to you about anything where you made an excuse, like not once. Like yeah, my guy. I would have assumed that you would have. Again, that's my problem for assuming. That's my fault. That anytime I've ever talked to you, you've never made an excuse ever, not one time. So if I did say that, which again, if I did, my fault. Like that was never like I was just joking. If I did say that, which you say I did, so if I did, I am sorry about that. You've never, not once made an excuse, at least wherever anytime I've talked to you, which is quite a few times. So like, yeah, no, that's yeah, I'm sorry about that guy. Like I was if I said that, and again, my fault if I did, I was just joking. But thank you for telling me that though, my guy. Thank you for telling me that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known. So my fault won't happen again. Y'all see how that works? You fuck up, you admit your shit, you keep pushing. Okay? Full exactly, Benito. Full steam ahead. Full steam ahead, kind sir. But you know what though? While you're here, Benito, you know what this sound is? We sound out here. Out of the word of the week. Which is sponsored by the word persistence. The word persistence. What does that word mean? It means it is the ability to keep going despite obstacles, setbacks, and slow progress. Okay? Staying committed until the goal is reached. So if you say that you're going to do 100 episodes, your ass better do 100 episodes. Right? So the daily duality of persistence means the first one is synonym, which is tenacity. Tenacity means the fierce grip or refusal to quit. Okay? Fierce grip or refusal to quit. And the antonym for that, the opposite of persistence, is weakness. lack of strength or firmness. Okay, you gotta be persistent with certain shit, but sometimes we're gonna slip and fuck up at times, right? That happens for all of us. All right, so again tonight we are talking about the refusal of the call, and why we refuse it. Because I mean, I think that we all refuse it at different times. Not some of us, all of us do. Right? Even the prophets in the Bible refuse their calling at multiple points for some people. Okay, so number one, fun fact is that the refusal is it's part of the journey. Okay, it's like it's not a detour or nothing like that. It's part of it. And most heroes don't just say yes like right away. So even Frodo, Simba, Neo, Luke Skywalker, hell, even Anakin, I think. No, actually, no, Anakin did say yes. He was actually a little older though, but they all said no at first. So refusal is natural. Okay, it's natural. It proves that it proves the call matters enough to be scary. Here, let me take that off because I don't think you guys can see what I wrote there. Sorry about that. Hold, please. And where you at, Chris? Okay, there you are. I had to take your thing off. So it proves that the call matters enough to be scary. Okay. So that means that anytime something pops into your head, it's gonna be kind of nerve wracking. Okay. It's you're gonna go through some shit, unfortunately. You're going that's gonna happen. Okay. Like I'm just throwing it out there. That happens. Okay. So but most heroes, they all say no. All of them like, nah, I'm good on that. Like who wants to start on that shit? Who wants to venture out from the unknown, right? You're saying. All right, so why do we refuse the call? Let's get it started. So number one is fear of failure or success. And you would think that most people do not have a fear of success, but I assure you, people do. People do. They have their whole fear of success about shit, right? So example is that you feel called to speak, start, or change, even excuse me, then fear rushes in, right? So you want to do these things, but then it's like, dude, I'm not ready. What excuses do we have here? What if I mess up? What if it actually works? But then what, right? And I've met a lot of people that talk about doing um videos and stuff, right? Whether podcasting channels, whatever. You have a bunch of people who talk about doing certain things and stuff, right? Like, yeah, I want to talk, I want to speak, I want to do this, and then they don't do it because they let that other chitter chatter pop in. Or it's like, what if I do it? I get out here, I'm successful, I start making money, and then people start asking me for money and stuff. And like we talked about yesterday, it's like, dude, why are you going so far ahead? You haven't even started yet. How you haven't even failed anything. How can you succeed at something that you never even started? You see what I'm saying? So, and I know that it's different from of hearing that call, 'cause like we talked about yesterday. This is actually refusing it, which a lot of the times we do. We hear it, say, "Oh man, that's a really good idea," and then we shit all over it before we can do anything with it, right? So the reality is that fear disguises itself as logic, right? It convinces you safety is smarter than growth. And we kind of talked about this yesterday too, pertaining to the second installment. Um, But fear it's still it's a logical thing. It's not a creative or abstract type of ordeal. It's it's one of those things where because you haven't done it, because you haven't seen it, you haven't experienced it, you don't feel that it's for you. That that couldn't be further from the truth. You still got to start it, right? You still have to start from somewhere. Okay. All right. So what do we have? Okay, it's fear disguise. Yeah, for sure. So how many of us? I guess my question is how many of us have fear of failure? I totally get that, but show of hands, how many of you guys have been scared to do something because of fear of success? I have to raise my hand on that. Like how many of us have like been nervous about something or scared about something like based on that? Not the fear of failure, because I think that we all feel that, or to me, the fear of trial and error, right? But how many of you, by show of hands, have been nervous or scared of succeeding? Let me see if it's just me. Because I literally know I have. There he is. Thank you. Benito said I have. That's what I'm talking about. What about anybody else? Or is it just me? Yachty said I have. All right, that's what's up. Yeah, Yachty, are you sure? Like Yachty, I'm really asking. Are you sure that you've actually had that fear of success? Like the failure thing with you, I get that. But success too, like, oh, okay, hold on. Jessica says, I've never been afraid of success. You're gonna have to break that one down. Why be afraid of success? It's because it's kind of like the flip side of failure, if you will, right? Because failure is like, what if I go out there and I don't make it? There's people who feel that what if I go out there and I do make it? What happens if I start making a bunch of money? What happens if I have more responsibility? What happens if I start becoming responsible for the lives of other people? That shit's scary to certain people. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, what happens if I succeed and my family starts treating me different? Then what? You know what I'm saying? Like then what? Right? And that does happen. I've met people like that. I don't want to say my whole life, but I've since I've been a life coach, I've met a lot of people like that. A lot of people like that. That they don't mind going out and failing, but their thing is they don't want. They're scared of the success that comes with that. That comes with it. Matter of fact, if you look at somebody like Andre 3000, the rapper from Outkast, that dude has been saying for years, I wish I could just make music and people didn't know who I was. I wish I could make music where nobody knew where where and when nobody knew that it was me doing it. Right? That this dude has sold so many albums, it's crazy. He's okay. Benito said I had to sell my pride and joy to start my business. It's going great as of now. So I gotta ask you, man, what was your pride and joy? Was it a car? Once you have more power, you have more responsibility, and that's where it's scary. Yeah, because you don't want to mess. Correct. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Yes. Yep. Okay. Okay. Man, and my second question is, what kind of car was it? Here's the thing, y'all. Benito's a car guy, or whatever. So, if y'all need any questions, or any, if you have any questions or need answers for a car or just a jack of damn near anything or whatever, your boy is very tenacious when it comes to certain shit, and very informative when it comes to a lot of different stuff too or whatever. So I remember okay, I do remember you talking to me about that. Okay. I had um I had some cleaners come in and clean my house, and they hit me up. They're like, "Hey, we accidentally broke your ceiling fan, right?" And I'm like what? Like, how do you break somebody's ceiling fan? Or whatever. They didn't take no accountability, responsibility, or nothing for that shit. Matter of fact, they argued with me about it. They talking about, well, it was kind of like that before. Like, no, it wasn't. Like, y'all been here for like a year, and it ain't never broke or nothing. Then y'all the last people who touched it. Anyway, um, I called Benito, and he came through quick as shit. Had to come back the next day because it was some other stuff on or whatever. So like, yeah, like had to have him fix that shit because I'm not gonna say that I'm, you know what? Here's the thing. I am useless when it comes to different shit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If it comes to hiring other people to do certain shit, I'm your guy. If it comes to finding the money and finding the resources to figure out what we need to figure out, I'm your guy. If it comes to any type of manual labor, I'm probably not your guy, but I can find the guy for you. And for the most part, it's usually Benito. It's who I usually call for certain shit like that. So it's just like Jessica's like facts. So again, like bro, like that's why I'm like yeah, no, the Benito is anything except full of fucking excuses. Not at all. Like that dude has dropped everything to help me on multiple occasions, like multiple. So like yeah, no. Again, my dude, I'm just saying, wow. Like yeah, so joke. Sometimes I play too much. Sorry. Or I was like, the more that I think about that, I'm like, this man is amazing at shit. But yeah, so anyway, but yes, Jessica, that does happen. People are they can get they can get scared of starting shit or even succeeding in general. That is a real thing. Okay. All right. So number two, fear of judgment. Now, judgment is more of like a comparison thing too, right? Because the example is, yes, yes, I have said that on multiple. Yes, matter of fact, Yadi, did I tell you that? Did I say that to you? I think I told you that before. Like, if there's hunters and gatherers, I'm the guy that I'm with the women, right? The guys are out there making it happen. I'm gonna make sure things smell good. That's that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure if there anybody broke something, if anybody doesn't feel that they're strong enough, that they're fast enough, I'm gonna work you through whatever's blocking your mind that gets you back out there. That's what I do. Benito's the guy who fucking goes out and gets the goddamn food. I'm the guy who consoles him if that goddamn deer ran off or broke left. Sorry about that. Oh, please. Like, right? Like, that's me. That's what I do. All right. So, example is that you hesitate to post that video, quit that job, or shift your identity, right? And a lot of people do that because they're comparing themselves or they're they're thinking about what somebody else thinks about them, right? So most of the time it's the judgment that I have that you're gonna have about me. You know what I mean? Like if that makes sense. It's the judgment that I have about you that you have about me. You know, I mean, like, and that's what it is. So our excuses is that people will think I'm crazy. I don't want to disappoint anyone. So our biggest problem, sorry about that. So our biggest thing is comparing where we are, who we are, against who you think that I am. That's a huge problem. And a lot of that shit, for the most part, is due to lack of clarity. And you guys all remember that clarity starts where? Come on now. Jerry Bear, where does clarity start from? Right? So the reality is the call isn't about asking for approval, it's about asking for alignment. Right? It's like kind of like we talked about before. It's all about you understanding exactly who and what you are, what you stand for, and what you stand on. And as long as you stand on that business, then that's gonna be what that is. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw. There you go. Start with you. Right? So that's kind of that's how that shit works. Right? And that's again the reason why we refuse to answer that call because we're always thinking about what somebody else is gonna say about us. Think about that. If you didn't give a fuck, let me ask y'all, and please be honest or whatever. How many of us, and I've been fucking hands already up, how many of us have not done something because we cared more about what somebody else thought about us than we did just fucking starting it? Show of hands. How many of y'all have given way too much of a fuck about what somebody else said or thought as opposed to you just listening to yourself? Christopher says I. Renita says I. Miss Mendez Flores says I. Jerry says, God damn. Everybody's like, I. Awesome. So good. So it's not just me then. It kind of sucks when you're the only one who thinks that you're like you. Right? Of course not you, Benito. I mean, come the fuck on, right? Like, yeah. No. Of course. Look at that. Miss Anya says, starts with you, my friend. You are very much right, dear. Yes, it does. It all starts with us. Right? All right. So number 3 is comfort addiction. We are comforted where we feel good just staying where we are sometimes, man. So the example is that you want to change, but you also don't want to be uncomfortable. You want to change, but you also don't want to be uncomfortable. Come on, man. You want to change, but you don't want to feel uncomfortable. Right? That's crazy. And I've been there too. Been there too. Now our excuses is that now is not the right time. I just need to get more stable first. Or like I told you guys yesterday, another one of mine was um, once I finish reading this book, once I finish taking this course, once I finish accomplishing this thing over here, then I'll be ready. All right. So our reality is that comfort zone don't keep you safe; it keeps you small. Think about that. Comfort zones don't keep you safe; it keeps you small. Which is so crazy, dude, because we have so much potential of doing so much more, and we don't. It's kind of sad. It almost seems like we're just waiting to die. You know what I mean? And then once you're gone, Your dreams, goals, and aspirations, they go along with you. And most of the time, most of us will never even know that you felt the way that you felt. Because so many of us are such fucking cowards that don't say nothing, that we keep things exactly what they are. Christopher just said that reality is you're never 100% ready. At some point, you just got to go through the portal and just get started. You're very much right, sir. I can hear some Anya. I can hear some Anya talking there. It's going through portals and TARDISes and wormholes and all kind of shit that comes out of her little mouth. But no, but you're very much right. At some point, we got to do something as opposed to staying where we are. Yeah. But all right. Fun fact time. Bam, 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 bam. All right. So we spend more time avoiding the call than answering it. We spend more time avoiding the call than answering it. Many people spend years circling the edge of a decision and minutes actually living in it. Minutes. Think about that, man. I thought about doing this for over 10 years. Over 10 years. And I just one day just started doing it. Just one day just started. Right? Which tomorrow is kind of one of those things because tomorrow we're going to talk about finding your mentor. Right? And a mentor doesn't have to just be a person. It could be a noun. It could be a person, place, or a thing. We'll kind of get into that because I think that certain things that have inspired us, we kind of placate it off like it's not really that big of a deal. I don't know. So the cost of refusing the call isn't failure; it's delay, regret, and stagnation. So the cost of refusing the call is not failure because you never started. If that makes any sense to you guys, man. If you never started, you never started. It's delay, regret, and stagnation. That's what it is. All right, so green light, how not to refuse a call. As we've discussed so many other times before, we have to interrupt the pattern. We got to interrupt it. So, example is that you have to catch yourself, excuse me, saying that I'm not ready. You got to catch that line constantly. So if that's what you're saying, you got to catch yourself saying that. You got to catch yourself saying that. Like I told you guys before, there's a certain song. Anytime I hear it, like I would feel a certain way, right? And what I started doing, and I told you guys this before, but this eventually I got to the point where every time I heard it or even thought about it, I would automatically start getting depressed. And I'm like, fuck this, I don't like this. So what I did was I would run that song in my head all the time, constantly. And I found another song that would bring me back up, right? So I would have that song playing, and then I would have like a record player, like you scratch and it's, and then I have crisscross jump playing over it. So so I would have this song playing, record scratch, crisscross jump playing in the background, and I will do that over and over and over. And shit, it took me a few days to get to a point because I was running it on purpose. Running it on purpose. And once, probably a week or so, when my head, anytime I hear the song now, Crisscross Jumps automatically starts playing in my head. Right? Like it's automatically. Matter of fact, even if I listen to it solo on its own, it doesn't have the same kick that it used to anymore because I changed the neurology in my mind on it. It's called synapses in your mind, right? And that's how everything gets linked. So I changed the synapse to from that song to another one, so I don't feel the same way anytime I hear it. But that's what you have to do. You have to interrupt that pattern as soon as it pops in. And again, sometimes you're not gonna remember it. That's why I run that shit on purpose, constantly, until it becomes something that automatic, where you don't even need to think about it. Like if I listen to a song, Crisscross is playing around too. See what I mean? All right, so what do we do? Well, write down your top three excuses, right? Because Lord knows I've had to do this too, and then rewrite a comeback statement for it, right? It's almost better if you turn shit into a song. Not gonna lie to you. Or make it something that rhymes. Because if it's something that rhymes, you'll remember it a whole lot more than it's just some slogan that you repeat to yourself. I got this, I got this, I got this. Right? But what do you have? So write down the excuse that you use, or write down whatever happens, and then write not necessarily the trigger, but I mean, fuck, I guess you can write down the trigger too. So instead of maybe your excuses, write down here. I'm gonna put this in here because I think that's okay. There we go. So we want to write down, and I'll even highlight it too so you guys can see it. Um, Write down your top three excuses or triggers. Want to think, just know what they are. Okay. And then write a comeback statement for each one. So if I know that talking to my mom makes me feel a particular way, right? All right, cool. What do I need to be listening to before I talk to her? Maybe I need to listen to some fucking Rocky Balboa soundtrack or some shit like that. Like I'm about to go into a fight. Or maybe I'm listening to something that makes me happy to listen to. Or maybe I can have something playing in the background so that if I'm talking to said person, I can be watching something else where I'm not getting so bogged down every time I'm talking to this person. Or anytime I say, man, I can't do this, you switch that shit up and say, okay, well, you can't do what? Or make it a song like, I can do this. I don't know what you need to do. Do something other than just letting that shit fester in your head. I was watching this chick today, and she said that she shit on herself. And she also said she doesn't like to wipe herself, right? But she said that she also, when she goes to work, she's tired of people looking at her with that smell like, oh my God, what is that smell? Right? I saw this on Instagram. Now, I'm pretty sure it's a parody. I'm pretty sure it is. But still, you know, if you know that people are going to make faces at you because you don't like to wipe your ass, that's what she said, right? That's not a pun. That's literally what she said. I don't like to wipe myself. Cool. Um, I'm just saying, like you can't really get upset, or you can feel away if you want to, but you're feeling away based on your hygiene. I mean, that's some shit you can change. So if you want to shit yourself and then go to work with that, bro, that's all on you. How many of us, and I'm just asking, how many of us have been around people that we've worked with that smells like shit? I got my hand up. I agree with that, Chris. How many of you, I put 11, but I meant to say I. How many of you have worked with people who smell like shit? That's actually what I say to myself too. And again, though, bro, that's literally what it is. You can tell yourself whatever the fuck you need to. Like you can tell yourself whatever you need to. Whatever gets you over that proverbial hump, that's what you tell yourself. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it rhymes, whether it's in the song, whatever you need to tell yourself to move you forward. Tell yourself that. You tell yourself, fuck it. Let's let's make it happen. Right? Whatever happens, happens. Cool. That works for you. So keep doing that. Right? I mean, until it doesn't work for you no more, then you have to find something else. But for right now, if that's what works, then fuck it. Have at it. I mean, I totally get that shit. All right, so reality is that um what about you, Jerry? Do you have anybody that when you worked at the firehouse that didn't smell like shit that you guys have to be like, hey bro, you really need to go do something with that. And Rebecca, I know you have working with all them kids. Jessica, I'm not even gonna say nothing about you at all. You have just that shit just turns my stomach thinking about that. Anyway, what about you, Jerry? What about you, Renita? You ever work with anybody who just has that smell to them? All right, that's three yeses. Um, awareness breaks the trance. You can't beat what you don't name. Again, we always talk about that. Name the problem, right? If there's an excuse that to break that shit, we have to break it. We have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like we have to because we make too many of them, full of fucking excuses and not enough tenacity, not enough persistence. Oh yeah, nah, for sure that part. Renita said you gotta let a person know, hey man, you smell like shit. All right, so speak loud. Speak it loud. So you've been secretly planning, but never said it out loud. And again, this is kind of that stuff that we talked about yesterday. Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. But here's the thing: you still have to drop the stuff off to people, though. I mean, you still gotta go get gas. You still gotta go into gas stations. So you may not necessarily work with other people who smell like shit, but you are around other people who might smell like shit. You see what I'm saying? You may not have to work with them, but I'm pretty sure you're around them. And if you live a trekker's life, bro, I know for a fucking fact you're around them. I mean, you gotta be. I remember I used to have to drive this little van. Said I don't deal with them. Damn, really? So you just stay in the truck the whole time? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you have to. You still gonna interact. You may not be like, hey, what's up, Benito? What's up, Mr. Corral? How you doing? That type of shit. But you walking past people, this that, and the other. But I don't know for shit. Maybe you stay in the truck the whole time. I mean, if you do, that's I mean, cool too. I guess kind of crazy a little bit. I mean, you got to go get gas. You got to go get lunch. But I mean, okay. Uh, shit. I mean, hey, maybe you're the maybe you sir are the anomaly. You are one of those anomalies, kind sir. All right. So what do we do? So, um, kind of like we talked about before and stuff is that if you have something that you want to do in general, whether you have an whether you have an accountability partner or not, tell somebody what you want to do. Again, it's not about seeking approval. It's just about letting somebody else know outside of you that can try to help you stay accountable by that. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? You don't have to ask for approval. You're asking for accountability, which is different. Totally different. Right? But tell somebody. Or shit, come here and tell us. Like we talked about this yesterday. Say something. Shit, let me know. I love this type of stuff. Right? I love it. Like, yeah, like I'm about this shit. Good, bad, or indifferent. This is my shit. Like Benito knows cars and trucks. I know this. Okay, I got you. Okay. Then yep, then never mind then, man. Never mind. He Chris and Anya, he said I just fuel and go. I'm in agriculture and hauling and I get paid by the load. So no time to stop and talk to anyone. Okay. Shit, I stand corrected, kind sir. All right, that's what's up. All right, so another thing too is that we want to do is we want we want to declare publicly if but only if you're ready. Only if you're ready. I stopped and Jessica will attest to this too. I stopped telling her what I was going to do pertaining to doing this. Because I would always be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it next week or I'm gonna do it then and then I would never do it. I would never do it. So remember when I told you guys, sometimes not sometimes, you have to keep your word to yourself first before you can keep your word to anybody else. That's how that works. And that's what I did. I stopped talking about it. I didn't tell anybody until I went online and I'm like, hey, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 100 days. I should have said, this is what I'm going to do for the next 30 days. I said 100 off the bat. But I also said 100 too is because I wanted to get so used to being in front of camera. I wanted to be so used to answering questions. I wanted to be so used to dealing with any and everything that popped up. So if I fuck up, if I have technical difficulties, if you guys disagree with anything that comes out of my mouth, if I say something that offends people, again, there's everything we do is live. Everything. I don't edit shit out. If you guys go back and watch, there's nothing ever edited out. Nothing. What you see is what you get. That's why. That's why. That's why. So when I'm talking to, if I'm asking Rebecca, hey, what is such and such and such? Somebody else may like, he doesn't know that. No, I don't. That's why I asked. Right? You know what I'm saying? If I'm called out for any reason, y'all gonna see it right then and there. Happens. Happens. If a relationship is strong enough, dude, I don't give a fuck who it is. If a relationship is strong enough, friends should be able to tell friends whatever. And y'all should still be cool no matter what afterwards. Cool. All right, yeah, my fault, man. Keep going. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? I've seen people I've seen people lose friendships over the dumbest shit. But really, can you call them friends at that point? If you guys couldn't argue about something, if y'all couldn't disagree about something, then you probably weren't friends. See what I mean? Just saying. I know that's a different thing or whatever, but you say your shit out loud. regardless of what it is, whether it's a dream, a goal, an aspiration, a problem. Say it out. Put that shit out there, right? Go. Keep moving, right? But put that shit out there. Declare it publicly. Again, like I said, if you're ready. I was ready. I was ready. There's some shit that Yachty wants to do that I would not put out there because she has to put that out there. Once she puts it out, then we can put it out. See what I mean? Yeah, no, we're good on that, right? Because that's her shit. You know what I'm saying? If she wants to tell you, she'll tell you. If other people want to tell you, they'll tell you, right? Or if I'll get permission from them or whatever and stuff, right? And so the reality is that secrets rot purpose. Saying it out loud makes it real, and it gives it its roots. It gives it its roots. I'm working on a logo for the uh, school thing that I'm creating or whatever, right? And one of the things I thought about was creating a logo, and I love the idea of roots, of like trees, right? And I never thought about it until I was watching this thing a few weeks ago, and it was talking about um like the importance of trees, for instance, and it was talking about how you plant the seed, for a tree, and it starts just growing all over the place well before you ever see it, right? Not to the extent of a bamboo tree or whatever, but an actual regular tree that will grow to be 60, 70 feet tall. But majority of what was built inside of it, or excuse me, like in the root system. And the root system, whether people understand it or not, looks exactly like the top does. It's just underground. So it's going to only give what's inside of it. That's it. It can't give you anything else because that's all it has. That's all it is, right? And so I think that'll probably be the logo that I kind of create for it. But yeah, but now you know. So anyway, so yeah, so yeah, I think we're good with that one. All right, so last one. All right, so take bold action. And again, we've talked about this on fuck what 50, 60 goddamn times, especially when we talk about our goals and stuff like that, or even not just goals, problems too. Take action. It can be small as fuck, but take action. Right? You've been so example is you've been circling your dream. Now it's time to act. God, come on. Do I need to say anything more on that? What to do? We book it, we launch it, ask for it, do the damn thing. Right? And again, I think that a lot of us sometimes, again, we're looking for perfection. I'm not gonna start because it's not perfect yet. It's not ready yet. Like really? But what do you mean? Of course it's not fucking ready yet. Did you know that every time you go buy a brand new phone or even an older phone, did you know that they sold you a defective product? Regardless of the phone that you bought, they're all defective. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but the way I can prove it to you is that every phone has to keep getting more and more updates. Every single phone gets another update, gets another update, gets another update. At least the ones that we have out today, they all get updates, right? Do you guys remember those the sliver Motorola's? I'm gonna pull that up right quick. Let me give me a second. We used to have those hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, no, okay. Okay, that's no. It was called the Razor. It was called the Razor. Is that what that is? What? No. No, it's okay. No, okay, no, I was right. Do you guys remember the here we go. Here we go. Hold on, I'm gonna show you guys. Do you guys remember these? These I think this one's more of a like a more of a more advanced version of what I'm gonna say. Yeah, 5G. Yeah, this is a more new and improved razor. You guys remember those razors back in the day that everybody and their mama had one? Everybody. Everybody and their mama had a razor. You guys remember those? Chris said I hate when my phone updates. It makes me grumpy. That's so friendly, funny. Sorry. Yeah, and that's a big one too, Chris. Reason why I don't reason why for worst reason see friendship in his political views. Why I don't tell anybody who I vote for because I don't want the fighting. I don't want the fighting over it. I totally get it. I get that. Miss Anya says, there's a guy that lives next door to Chris and I that smells like shit. I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about, ma'am. But anyway, so the reason why I was asking about the those phones was because they never updated. You didn't you didn't have to go get updates for them or none of that stuff. Most of the old phones didn't have them. So the product that you got then, that was the product. That was it. There wasn't nothing more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was nothing more than that. They never you never had to update them. Why? Because they were fucking fine the way they were. If you have an iPhone, if you have an Android, your shit's just gonna be fucked, right? They're always giving you new updates, which take even more and more and more of your bandwidth. So sometimes you may have to go through your phone, delete a bunch of stuff just so it can update. And here's the problem with that: sometimes updates will fuck up your phone, and then you may have to take it in, get a new one, or reset the whole goddamn phone. You know, I mean, it's fucking, it's annoying. Anyway, but either way, the reason why I'm talking about that is because they're all shit. At the end of the day, the older style phones work better, and you can hear people way more clear on those old phones than you can on the ones today. Way clearer, way better. Probably without all the fucking brain cancer too. But anyway, I digress. So reality is that action rewrites identity. Okay, action rewrites it. The call, excuse me, the call only answers to those who move. So you gotta do something. Again, uh, everything that I've ever read always says take huge, massive actions. I tell you just to do something. I tell you just to do something. Here's the thing: we're not all like Benito here, who does not make excuses. He just, oh, what needs to be done? Cool. And he's on it. Motherfuckers like us, we ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? So for us, we may not be able to be, we may not be able to take those big, huge, bold steps. For us, it may have to be something fucking small and minute. Like I told you guys before, I mean, I save anywhere from 10 to 20, 10 to 30% of my income every time I get paid. I told Joe to start at 5%. Don't start, don't, don't start where I'm at. Start where you are. If you could do seven, do seven. At least do five. At least do five. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit, you can go, if you can't go any lower than that, like I say, you gotta go start selling some shit. Blood, semen, I don't know what, but sell something. Feet pics, yeah, I don't know. Something. I just watched this thing today where a young lady by the name of Sydney Sweetie, Sweeney's some shit. It's selling her bath water. Selling her bath water. And I know y'all probably think, man, this dude, I promise you, look it up. Matter of fact, here, you don't have to. I'll do it for you. Oh, please. Let me find a let me find it right quick. Come on, where we at? Um Sydney, what's oh here she is. Sydney Sweeney. Here, let me show it to you. This chick here, 27 years old. Watch. As you guys can see, I was looking at that today. She is selling her bath water. Yeah, and it's not a joke. This chick here was taking a bath. This Sasquatch, the squat stuff. Their soap don't smell bad. I love these little block things that they have. They're really good. Actually, they're really good if you have skin problems. Like amazing. But like, look, Sweeney's bathwater bliss sold out dead ass. I was not joking. They were selling her. They weren't. They are selling her bathwater. Like again, I don't like telling y'all something that I don't know about. I heard about that today. I'm like, what? Looked it up. The fuck they are. They are out. It is so bad out here. Motherfuckers are so thirsty out here that they are buying motherfuckers bathwater. Listen to me. There ain't no reason. Listen, everybody talking about we in a recession. Ain't nobody got no money. This and the other. Somebody got money that this shit sold out. People buying motherfuckers bathwater. Come on, man. Hey, there is no reason to be broke in America. Not at all. We are disgusting. Truly nasty. But yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, that's where we are today. Yeah, matter of fact, I think I think in Japan or China. I want to say it's China because I don't see Japanese people doing shit like this. Yes, in Japan, no, in China, they are selling used panties. They have an actual vending machine of selling women's panties. Hold on, China. Hold on, selling. Okay, so actually, I am sorry about that. It was hold on. While there was a brief period in the 1990s where they were being sold in adult shops as a gimmick ordinance, they were passed. Blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. So no, I guess they were doing, it, and it was in Japan that they were doing it. They do not do that anymore, though. I'm just saying, though. I'm just saying that if y'all want to sell some shit, you can. That's all I'm saying. Just throwing that out there. All right, ladies and gents, our last fun fact, and we can go about our business. All right, so number three, refusal always loops back. What does that mean? That means that you can walk away from your calling all you want. But if it's yours and it's for you, and whether it's a new job, new cities, relationship, or whatever, it is going to keep showing up. It's going to keep sticking its nasty face or nasty fingers in everything that you touch. When you go to bed at night, you're going to think about it. When you wake up in the morning, you're going to think about it. Everything that you do will be based on whatever your calling is. So you can refuse it all you want. It's just going to keep showing up. Okay? Until you face the lesson, you will repackage it itself and it will reappear over and over and over until you do something about it. So, for those of you who have these goals, who have these aspirations to do more, you have to do something with it. Because if you think that it's just going to dissipate, dissipate, it's not going to. There's some shit that might pop into your head 3 or 4 times, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm good on that. I used to think about that a while ago, but now you don't think about it no more. But then there's other shit that won't leave. So for majority of you, what is that thing for you that won't go away? What's that thought? What's that idea? What's that hump? What is that thing for you that won't go away? You see what I'm doing right now. It wouldn't go away from me, right? It wouldn't go nowhere. Like I told you, this is what I will do for the rest of my life. This right here, I love this. I love this. This is mine, right? Benito told me, I think when we first met about the truck stuff or whatever, that I mean, like his whole thing was cars. I mean, am I wrong, sir? You know what I'm saying? And doing kind of what you're doing right now. Jessica's next door, I'm pretty sure, working on her stuff right now because it would not leave her alone. So what do you have going on in your head that it will not stop fucking with you? Look, all right, see? Come on, man. I remember. There's not many conversations that I have with people that I don't remember. Unfortunately, I talk so much shit that I might forget. I might forget that though. But yeah, conversation wise, I usually don't. Unless I'm talking to Jessica, and that does happen. All right, but I mean, I just want you guys to think about that for the night. Just think about what, it might just be more than one thing. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, if you could, just write out something. Write it out and tell me what it is tomorrow. Write it out. And again, it doesn't matter what it is. Just tell me. I want to know. And again, I'm not telling you to tell me because I'm going to hold you to it. I'm just asking, what is it? Okay? That's all I'm asking. So tomorrow, so that is a homework for tomorrow. Even if you forget, you'll remember when we talk about it. But tomorrow, face first, I'm going to ask you, what's that idea that just keeps popping into your head that won't go away? Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys. It is about that time. Yeah, I want you guys to have an amazing night. Tomorrow we're going to talk about mentors, and the importance of having a mentor. So yeah, man. I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow at 8:30. Sleep well. And like I always tell you, dream big. Bye.